A question I get asked a lot is how to share multiple HDMI sources across two displays. And in fact, in my studio, I'm running a 6-display matrix with 2 computers, multiple consoles, and other input devices. And if I had to plug and unplug devices all the time, that'd be a real hassle. So what I use is an HDMI Matrix, and I've actually been testing one from EZCOO over the last 8 months, and I've had really good success with it, so I want to share that with you today. But the advantage of having an HDMI Matrix is we can then take, say, 2 of our monitors. So if I'm using 3 primary monitors on my main system, I can have 2 of them that are used for the computer, of course, but I can also have a matrix in there that allows me to switch between gaming consoles, Blu-ray players, just about anything else I want to connect with HDMI. I also use an HDMI matrix on the back wall of my studio so I can select different types of consoles and inputs to include in my scenes. So today what I'm going to do is take a look at the EZCOO HDMI Matrix. It's a 4x2, so 4 inputs and 2 outputs, and we'll take a look at how it's connected, and then we'll take a look at some of the use cases for it. So let's check it out. So as I said, I've been running this now for about 8 months in my studio as a long-term test, and I'm excited to show it with you today. So we're not going to do an unboxing, but I just want you to see that it does come in a really good box. There's great packaging in here that has nice foam in that'll keep everything put together. So not to worry about that. Very well put together product. It's going to come with, of course, the converter itself. You'll get an HDMI cable. It also comes with a micro USB cable for doing firmware updates. It has RS-232 control, so you can connect it into a home theater system with a Crestron control center if you like. And so really a fantastic device. On the back of the unit, you'll see you have connections here for 2 displays as outputs in HDMI, and then 4 inputs, as well as the RS-232, and also a power connection with a screw-on fitting so that the power won't come out. And on the front, you actually have a display with LEDs to show you which input is active on each monitor, as well as a push button that allows you to change the display on each monitor. Now, this unit also comes with a remote, so if you want to mount this in a location where it's not easily accessible, you can do that. And it even has an IR extender, so if you want to put it in a cabinet and then just have the IR sensor somewhere in view where you can control it with a remote, that'll work fine too. And you can integrate this into an all-in-one remote system as well. So a really powerful unit that will allow you to switch 4 displays into 2 monitors. Now, a couple of the other great features of this device is that it allows you to select the EDID mapping, so you can have 4K, 2K, or pass-through, and it also includes a scaler, so 4K or 1080p output on either monitor. And so if you have displays with mixed resolutions, you can actually switch between your 4 sources, scaling on the fly for either 4K or 1080p. Now we'll take a look at a couple of use cases. So for the first situation, I have 2 of the 3 monitors connected up to my main PC, set up with the switcher, with the HDMI Matrix. And so we can put different displays up, and I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's just on the wall behind the monitors. I can't really pull it out too much further. I don't have a whole lot of extra cable. But I mean, we'll take a look at it also on the back wall of my studio, and I'll do a close-up of it switching so that you can see actually how it works. But in this case, what I'm going to do is switch between using the 3 monitors for the computer and for some consoles and a DVD player. So first, we can go ahead and have a PS4 on one with a DVD player on the other. Then we'll switch the DVD player and PS4 back and forth between the 2 monitors. Now we'll go ahead and throw the Xbox on one of them with the DVD on the other. And how about the Xbox and the PlayStation on 2 different monitors side by side? All of this without disconnecting any cables or moving anything around or worrying about resolutions. So now that we've seen the Matrix in action using 2 of my 3 main monitors connected up to the PC, let's go over to the back wall. What I'll do is I'll connect up an additional monitor to that Matrix, so we'll have the TV on the wall plus the monitor, and I'll do a close-up of the HDMI Matrix so you can see it in action. I apologize if the audio is not the best here. I've just quickly switched over to a lav mic so I can be farther back from my interface here and not hopefully get too bad a sound. And so I wanted you to see basically what I've done is I have my TV set up on the wall, and then I've just connected up another monitor here, and I'll just turn it around a little bit more. and then I have the HDMI Matrix here. And so what I've done is I have outlet 1 and outlet 2 on the Matrix with 3 sources actually set up. So input number 1, we'll just switch to that on the TV. With input number 1 on the TV, and it'll just take a moment to sync up for us. And on there I have the Xbox set up. And right now I have input number 4 on the second monitor. But if I switch input number 1 onto the second monitor as well, I now have it on both. What I can do then is go to the TV, and I'll go ahead and switch over to input number 2. This input number 2 again will sync up here right away. And on there we're going to see the AtGames Genesis Classic. And so we have 2 different devices. I can put that same device onto the second monitor, and there we go, it'll sync up. And if I want to go ahead and switch to input 4, that has the iPad. And so we'll go ahead and get that on the TV. It'll just take a moment to sync again. And there we go. So hopefully you get the idea here that we can just switch between the various inputs, and we can also have them scaled. Right now I have pass-through on the TV, which is 4K, and I have 1080p downscaling enabled on the second monitor, just so that all the sources will be compatible. And that's the really great thing about this Matrix is it not only lets us switch between 4 inputs on 2 monitors, but it also lets us scale in real time. And just one more time with a little bit of a close-up here, I now have the Matrix, and we'll switch the second monitor output. Right now I have it on input number 1, which is the Xbox. We'll go ahead and switch that over to input 2, which is going to be the AtGames Genesis Classic. And so now we have that once it syncs up. And I can just go ahead and switch over to number 4, which is my iPad input. So really useful to be able to switch back and forth between the devices. And that's how I use the EZCOO 4x2 HDMI Matrix to share multiple HDMI sources on 2 separate monitors. In fact, I have 2 of these in my studio. I just find them fantastic to help manage all the inputs on the 6 displays that I'm using. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. If you did, think about smashing that like button or leaving a comment. It takes quite a bit of work to set these demonstrations up, and I really do appreciate hearing from you. Check out some of the other new content I have coming out weekly on my channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.